You look like you could use a little sleep yourself.
Oh, hi, honey. How's Lurleen doing, huh?
Well, she's still sleeping.
She had a pretty rough night last night, didn't she?
Every time she'd just start to drift off, she had a nightmare.
Did you tell her that Bubba was arrested?
Yes. Seemed to reassure her a little bit, but not much.
You look like you could use a little sleep yourself.
I'll be all right. Kate told me that Cody called.
Mm-hmm. One of his friends is a park ranger in Yellowstone, and he caught sight of Barrett and Steve yesterday.
Where?
Right here. You see, Route 89, the south entrance. Ranger called ahead, but he lost them.
Ryan, this is a huge park. They could be there for weeks.
They could, but I don't think they will be.
I just think this confirms what Steve told that guy at the gas station, that they're headed for Montana.
Oh, Ryan.
Honey, we're closing in on them. We're going to find them soon.
You ain't got breakfast, so hold you for a couple hours while I go into town?
Can I come along?
No, not this time. I got to talk some business with my friend. See if we can't get ourselves set up with a job on his ranch.
I don't see why we had to go through Yellowstone Park so fast.
Saw Old Faithful, didn't we?
Yeah, I know.
Now, look, son. I know we kind of rushed things, but we can always go back. We're going to have plenty of time to see Yellowstone and Little Bighorn and the Grand Tetons and...
When?
Just as soon as we get settled down. I'm really getting tired of that restaurant coffee and motel rooms. We need a place of our own.
Yeah, I guess.
We got to get you enrolled in school. But you're playing basketball again. Now, you can't tell me that you don't miss playing basketball.
What I really miss is Buddy and Grandma and Mom.
Well, I can assure you that your mother probably doesn't miss you. She's off in Acapulco with Ryan Connor, having the time of her life. But we don't need her. Do we, son? Hey, come on now. Give me a smile. You just forget all about that. Concentrate on helping me to make a new life for the two of us together. Okay?
Well, you got a steady hand this morning. Usually when I'm around this place, you're as jumpy as a cat.
Yeah, well, usually when you're around this place, it's full of people. You only make me nervous in a crowd.
Yeah? I just remember 3 can be a crowd, especially when it's you, me, and Ricky Decker.
Don't push that, Bo. At the moment, Ricky's my meal ticket.
I know. That's why I tolerate him for now. Where's our meal ticket this morning, anyhow?
He's at his flying lesson.
Flying? Ooh, now that's an expensive hobby.
He can afford it.
That's what I'd like to hear. Where's that brother of yours?
Took off about half hour ago. Lacey called him from the studio. Apparently there's some kind of emergency over at KVIK.
Oh, yeah? And I bet we can just imagine what that emergency is now, can't we?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about that, Lacey. I've got today's show just about patched together. It's tomorrow's show I'm worried about. What about Senor Rodriguez, the mechanical bullfighter? What do you mean he canceled? We've got him paired up with the 2 ladies from the Humane Society, and... No, I don't think there's any point in that. We'll just have to move somebody up from next week, I guess. No, I don't have any ideas. You're just going to have to work that out by yourself. Look, sweetheart, if Phil comes in here in the same condition he was in yesterday, I'm going to have my hands full down here, so Lacey, you just do it, okay? Just do it. Okay.
What's the trouble, Ben?
Don't ask. After yesterday's fiasco, our guests are just canceling out on us right and left.
Was it that bad?
Yes, it was that bad. We're okay for today, but tomorrow's a mess. If Phil comes in drunk again, we can just kiss next week goodbye.
You mean there's an opening for a guest on tomorrow's show?
Yeah, you bet your life there is.
Well, why didn't you tell me that when I was at the coop?
What are you doing?
I'm getting you a guest.
What kind of guest?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Carrington. This is Billy Joe Wright.
Yeah.
How fast can you get a hold of Paige?
Well, I think she's at the boutique. Why?
Because I got an opening for her on the Phil Roberts show.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
This shouldn't take too long, no more than an hour or so. You sure you'll be okay?
Yeah, I can watch TV or read.
Well, I'll leave the key here, just in case you feel like going for a walk around the motel. There's a pretty good newsstand in the lobby. I'll tell the man that if you want some magazines, you can just charge them to the room, okay?
Okay.
What's wrong? You seem awfully quiet.
I'm homesick.
Well, that's what I'm going in to see my friend about. Once we're settled on his ranch, and you can go riding and have other kids to talk to, well, you'll forget all about Texas. Now, if you think the Marshall Ranch was something, you just wait until you see this spread that John has. It's huge.
Have you ever been there?
No, but I know all about it. When we were stationed in Saigon, I used to talk about it all the time. John was always showing me pictures.
You sure he's going to give you a job?
Well, he promised he would. It's all going to work out. Come on, kid. See you in about an hour, all right?
Look, Paige, I know this is a bad time, but could you possibly come by the studio this morning?
Oh, Elliot, I really don't think I can. I spent all day yesterday trying to work out meetings with charities, and right now I'm waiting on calls from two, Junior League and the Hospital Ships International.
Well, I know that's important, but this is important, too.
Well, I suppose I could have Nita come back from the shop and handle the calls if necessary. Why? What's so important?
Well, you remember I spoke to Billy Joe about the possibility of you going on the Phil Roberts show?
Yes.
Well, there's been a cancellation, and they want you on the show tomorrow.
Are you sure that the Paige Carrington's going to be all right on the show, Billy Joe?
Sure, she'll be terrific.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that before.
Look, in the first place, she's gorgeous.
Well, that doesn't always go over so well with our ladies in the studio.
Yeah, but Mrs. Carrington's got class, too.
Well, heaven knows we need a little bit of that around here.
Yeah, and on top of class and beauty, she's got also
all
a lot of...
All right. You can save the also. I'm sold. Just get a hold of her. Anyway, it'll make Elliot happy.
Look, I'm going to go on down to Mr. Carrington's office. Meet me there when you can, and I'll introduce you to Paige, all right?
Okay, Billy Joe.
Sometimes they're inappropriate, right?
Good morning, Mr. Roberts.
Morning, Phil. How you feeling?
Fine, just fine.
Well, you look a lot better today than you did yesterday.
Not quite so drunk, you mean?
Phil, are you going to be all right?
I'm fine, I told you that.
Look, Phil, I'm sorry about yesterday. I didn't want to call your wife. It's just that when you get like that, Joan's the only one you're going to listen to.
Let's drop it, okay, Ben? I'm fine, I'm going to stay fine, and that's that.
Sure, Phil. Anything you say.
Ruby in the studio?
No, not yet. At least I haven't seen her.
Well, I want to see her the moment she gets in. You understand?
Yeah. Sure, Phil. I understand.
Ruby, once you get rid of Phil Roberts, what makes you think your brother's going to give me a job on the show?
Don't worry about that. I've had 20-some years of experience. I've always been able to handle Billy Joe.
Yeah, what about Phil Roberts? How you plan on handling him today?
Same way I did yesterday. Ruby's got her special coffee all hot and ready.
What if Robert's got you figured out? I mean, the man's not dumb. He's got to know somebody sabotaged him.
I don't think he's in any condition to figure at all. When Mrs. Roberts walked in on us that day in the studio, she said one more drink would push her husband over the edge. Well, after yesterday, I think we can safely say that he's over the edge. And from here on in, it's going to be just like rolling a stone downhill.
Check, please.
Dad, I haven't finished yet.
Check, please. Just take your time, son. We're gonna just get the check, that's all.
I wonder what Grandma's doing now.
I don't know.
Dad?
What?
Don't you miss Grandma?
Yes, I do.
Then why can't we live on the ranch with her?
Because Uncle Justin actually live there now.
Uncle Justin was teaching me how to jump. He told me he used to have a thoroughbred horse, the finest in the state.
Yeah. Yes. Won a lot of blue ribbons. Lady Kate.
Lady Kate?
Yeah, they named her after Grandma.
I think we could all live on the ranch together.
No, Steve. I think we'll be much better off if we live somewhere else.
I don't.
Besides, it'd be too hard for you to see your mother.
No, I'd like to see her.
Does she want to see you? You read the letter. She wants to have Ryan Connor's children. Make a new family. There isn't going to be time for her in your life. I'm sorry, son, but you just have to accept the way that she feels about you, that's all. Thank you.
I don't believe Mom doesn't love me anymore. No, sleeping seems to have helped.
Well, and breakfast is going to help even more. We're going to make some French toast. Would anyone care to join us?
Oh, I'd love to, but no thanks, Kate. Jenny and I have already eaten.
Have you talked to the sheriff this morning?
If you mean, is Bubba still in jail? Yes, he is. I squeezed some orange juice this morning. There's some in the refrigerator. Why don't you pour yourself a glass?
Okay. Pour a glass for me, too. I'll be along in a minute. How long do you think they can keep Bubba locked up?
Well, I don't know. Sheriff's doing everything he can legally. But if the judge does allow Bubba out on bail, I don't know.
Well, then we'll be right back where we started.
Oh, no. No, we won't.
Rena said that Lurleen could stay at her folks' house in Houston.
Oh, well, I don't think Lurleen would be comfortable with them. I've had such a hard time getting her to stay here. Oh, it's disgraceful to think that a young girl has to run and hide.
No, Kate, she won't have to hide. She's going to be real safe out here, even if it means hiring guards to protect her.
Do you think that Bubba's really dangerous now that the sheriff's onto him? Or is he just trying to save face by frightening Lurleen?
I don't know, but I'm certainly not going to take any chances.
I think that Bubba's devious. I mean, he had all of us convinced that he was in Mississippi.
Well, they're all on to him now, so even if the judge does allow Bubba out on bail, Harley and the sheriff are going to keep a real close eye on him. So Bubba's not going to be able to pull any more of these stunts.
You're wearing a hole in the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Elliot. All of this has me very nervous.
I don't know why in the world it should. All you have to do is be yourself.
Be myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just be myself.
Mm-hmm.
Easy for you to say. You're not the one sitting in that chair facing those cameras.
Those cameras are gonna love you, kid.
Where's Billy Joe? What's taking him so long?
He went down the hall to tell the producer you're here. Paige, you're making me crazy.
Oh. I'm sorry, Elliot. I'm going to try to be calm now. Maybe we should talk about something else. How's Dennis?
He's fine. When I went to see him yesterday, he was having a fierce game of backgammon with one of the student nurses. I thought the fact that he was feeling competitive was a very good sign.
Is he still depressed?
Well, he still has his low moments, but who doesn't?
Hey, Miss Carrington.
Oh, hi, Billy Joe.
Ben will be here in a minute.
Great. How do I look?
Just like always, terrific.
See? Told you have nothing to worry about. You're surrounded by fans.
Will you two stop it? I've never been on a talk show before. I just don't know if I can do it.
Well, sure you can. It's easy.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling it's easy until you... It's one of those things that's easy until you try it.
No, look. I mean, if somebody like me can do it, anybody can.
I don't have the slightest idea what to say, Billy
You
Joe.
don't have to worry about a thing now. Phil Roberts and me will ask all the questions, and you just answer them.
Yeah, but shouldn't I say something to try to sell the boutique?
No, that's one thing you mustn't do. The worst thing, matter of fact, the biggest mistake people do is when they push things. So all you gotta do is just sit there and look pretty.
That should be a snap.
Yeah, but what if the producer doesn't like me?
He loves you already. I told him everything he needs to know.
You're sure?
Absolutely. Will you just calm down and leave everything up to old Billy Joe? We're gonna have that boutique of yours packed to the rafters with the fanciest people in Houston. You just wait and see.
I'm sorry, I can't get used to that beard of yours.
Do I really look that different?
Maybe not. Tell you one thing. If General Magers ever saw it, he'd have a stroke. He'd never believe that one of his clean-cut officers would show up with something like that.
Yeah, well, General Magers in Saigon, command, all that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I guess. What has it been? 7 or 8 years since I saw you?
You left Saigon in 72.
I never understood why you volunteered to go around again.
It was something I felt I had to do.
I couldn't see it. Not the way things were. Did you grow that in Cambodia? I heard about the prison camp. I guess it was pretty bad.
It's over, John. It's something I'd rather not talk about.
Okay. I guess I can understand that. How's Jenny?
Jenny and I are divorced.
Divorced? Can't mean that, Barry.
The final decree came through about a month ago.
Why? I mean, Lord, I don't remember anyone more in love than you two.
Yeah, well, things happen.
I think she wrote you a letter every day you were in Saigon.
Maybe after that, when I was in the prison camp, she thought I was dead. She married another man. Fell in love with him anyway.
I'm sorry. Wish there was something I could say.
Forget it, John. I have it.
You have a boy, don't you?
Steve. He's with me now. His mother doesn't want him, so,
It's really all come down on you, hasn't it?
I manage. Only right now, what I need is a job.
Yeah.
What I need to do is make a clean break. Get rid of all those Texas memories and get on with my life. Need to settle down, make a home. Help Steve deal with doing without his mother.
Well, a thing like that must be pretty tough on a kid.
Well, it's not easy. He's a bright boy. I think he's adjusting pretty well.
Well, Mrs. Carrington, it's been very nice meeting you. Unless you have any more questions, I guess I'll see you tomorrow, about an hour before the show.
Great. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks, Ben.
Sure, Billy Joe.
Well, was I all right?
You passed inspection with flying colors.
See, I knew he'd like you.
Oh, thank you, Billy Joe.
Hey, don't thank me. It's the least I can do. I mean, after what you done for Nita and... Hey, I guess I better get back to the studio then, huh?
Oh, thanks again.
Hey, don't thank me. Thank Mr. Carrington. I mean, it was all his idea. And if you want to know the truth, you're helping us all out of a big jam.
Well, it's nice of you to say that.
See you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye. Billy Joe is right. I do want to thank you, Elliot.
Well, if the boutique is a success, that's all the thanks I'll need.
Do you really think being on the Phil Roberts show is going to bring in customers?
Well, I don't know. The ratings have certainly soared since Ricky and Billy Joe came on the show. I imagine there's a lot of people out there who'll be interested to know how a high-fashion boutique works.
Yes, but the important question is, are they going to be interested enough to spend their money?
I think they will.
Well, I better get back to the hotel, see how Nita's doing with those charities.
Have any of them agreed to sponsor the opening?
No, not yet. They all seem to have chain of commands that stretch on forever. A co-chairman has to talk to the chairman, who has to talk to the board, etc.,
It's the wonderful world of committees.
Frankly, I'm not really sure that they're worth the trouble.
Well, they are if they bring in the type of people you want.
After my little run-in with the tasteful Mrs. Oliver, I'm not really sure the committee ladies are what I want, especially if they're friends of Iris Wheeler.
You know, Paige, despite what Iris thinks, her power is really very limited. There's a whole world out there who couldn't care less what Iris says or does. Even so, I think the charity route is worth pursuing.
Elliot.
What?
Would you... Never mind.
What is it?
I was wondering if you wanted to have dinner this evening.
I don't think that's a very good idea, Paige.
Okay. I understand. Well, then I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. So long.
Hi, Mr. Roberts.
Well, good morning, Ruby.
I was just talking to Lacey in the office, and she said that you wanted to see me. She said it was real important.
Yes, I think it is. Sit down here for a minute.
You're looking real good today.
So are you.
So, what did you want to talk about?
Your brother. We never had a chance to talk about your plans for getting rid of him as co-host on my show.
Oh, that's right, we didn't. Well, you know, I wanted to talk to you about it yesterday, but then your wife walked in. She always seems to arrive at the most inopportune time.
I know, but she's not here now.
Well, no, she's not, but, well, it's a little public here. Maybe we should wait till after the show, and we could go someplace where no one will walk in on us. Would you like that?
Well, we could always go someplace after the show, but frankly, I'd like to hear about your plans now, unless you have some reason for not wanting to discuss it.
No, no reason. But first, I think I might have a cup of coffee. Would you like one?
No, thank you.
You sure? It's real good.
I remember, but I don't think I'll have one today. Oh. Don't let me stop you.
Oh. All right.
Something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. I changed my mind. I drank almost a whole pot full of coffee at the Coop. I don't think I want any right now.
I'm on to you, Ruby.
What do you mean?
You know precisely what I mean. You brewed yourself up a nice little double-cross, didn't you?
What are you talking about?
It wasn't Billy Joe you were going to get rid of. It was me, wasn't it?
Mr. Roberts, what a terrible thing to say.
Yes, but it was a terrible thing you did, wasn't it?
What?
My wife told you that I was an alcoholic, and you decided to take advantage of that fact.
Mr. Roberts, I would never do a thing like that.
Of course not, Ruby. You're on thin ice. You better watch your step.
Thanks, sugar. Well, to make a long story short, my brother Bill decided about 2 years ago that ranching was not for him, so he moved into the city with his wife and kids.
Yeah, well, my brother and sisters didn't take much to ranching either.
Well, he's pretty happy. He bought a local hardware store. Seems to be making a go of it.
Yeah, and he was a Navy man, wasn't he?
Yeah. He always had to do things different from me, you know. You met him once, I think, in Hawaii, I think.
I remember.
Anyway, Bill and his wife built a nice little house out of the ranch. So it's vacant. If you and Steve want to move in, you're welcome.
Sounds perfect.
The school bus stops right about a half a mile down the road, so that's no problem. Your boy into sports?
Yeah. He runs track in the spring. He plays basketball the rest of the year.
I know. Red Gardner, that's a basketball coach. He has one of the best programs in the county. In fact, last year, junior varsity went all the way to the state finals.
Steve will be pleased about that.
Well, I can take you over to school tomorrow and introduce you to Red. He's old buddy. Well, so is the principal, for that matter.
It sounds like maybe Steve and I have found ourselves a home. Oh, I have a rented car that I've got to turn in eventually. I don't suppose there's any place around here that I can do that.
No, I have to go into the city. Just let me know when you're ready and make the trip in. You drop off the car and
I hate
come
to
back.
put you out. No, I can't do that.
Don't worry. I got a couple of old trucks out at the ranch, and you can use one to get around until you're ready to buy a car for yourself.
You know, John, I really appreciate all of this.
It's no big deal. I mean, anyway, he got me out of a couple of pretty close spots when we were in Nam, so I'm kind of glad to have the chance to return the favor. Wait a minute.
Oh, come on now, please. John, you're a bad man.
Well, folks, I'm afraid that's all the time we've got for today, but we'll be looking for you tomorrow at the same time. And remember, somebody loves you.
Thanks, everybody. Good show, Phil.
Thank you.
Ben's right, Phil. It was a good show.
Oh, yeah. No thanks to you or Ruby.
Hey, come on, Phil. Look, I'm getting tired of this. If we're going to work together, can't there be somewhere we can bury the hatchet?
Depends on where you and Ruby plan on burying it.
What are you talking about?
Look, Billy Joe, I don't know whether you were part of Ruby's little scheme to get rid of me or not. Frankly, I don't think you got the brains to cook up something like that. But the truth is, I don't like you, and I like your sister even less. And the sooner I get rid of the both of you, the happier I'll be.
Now, wait a minute. What did my sister Ruby do to start all this?
She spiked my coffee with 100-proof vodka. That's what she did. Oh, don't look so surprised. Your sister got me drunk yesterday, and the day before, for that matter.
That's crazy.
Ask your sister if she thinks it's crazy, and ask her what kind of poison she's lugging around in that thermos of hers.
What thermos?
Ask her!
I wrote this letter to Barrett when I was sure I was pregnant with Steve. Do you remember what you wrote on that first page? Probably told him about the ranch news. I always started my letters out that way. Well, then he must have thrown out that first page and substituted his own page. It said that there was no room in your life for Steve. Rena, why is Barrett doing this to me? Because he's crazy, Ginny, because he wants to hurt you. Taking Steve is the only way he knows how to do that.
How can Steve believe this? How can he believe that I don't love him?
Darling, he doesn't know what or whom to believe anymore. Just think about it. Your divorce from Barry, Max's death, your marriage to to Ryan and then your decision to move away from the ranch and then back into town, that was just too much for a little guy to deal with.
I should have helped him more. I should have spent more time with him.
Jenny, honey, don't do this. Don't start thinking about all the things you should have done. You did everything you could.
I called Cody at the Highway Patrol. Now, they checked all the airlines, but he's not listed on any of the flights leaving Houston tonight or tomorrow.
Did they know what kind of car he was driving, what his license number was?
Not yet. They know that he didn't rent the car at the airport, so they're checking all the car rental agencies in town.
Is it possible that Barry could have taken Steve to Colorado?
I don't know, but I doubt it.
Why?
It'd be too easy for us to trace him. My guess is that he's taken him somewhere to start a new life. Honey, it's just a guess. Now, we have to be ready for anything.
He could change his name and just disappear.
Kate's calling the people who own the ranch where Barrett's been staying. They're going to call us if they hear from him.
And if they don't?
He'll get in touch with you somehow. Ginny, I know he will.
Hi, honey. Hi. Sorry it took so long, but I had to stop by the sheriff's office and talk to him. Is Lulina all right?
Yes.
You all right?
Yes.
Hey, it looked like Wanda's car was pulling out of the driveway when I came up.
Yes, it was.
What'd she want?
She came over to tell me that Buddy's very worried about Stephen. She brought this. It's their team basketball photo. It was taken the last week, right before Barrett took Stephen. It's probably the last picture of him.
Honey, you have to stop being so upset. Now you're playing into Barrett's hands if you do.
I'm sorry. I just feel so helpless, Ryan.
Well, it's not. Listen, I keep telling you we're going to find Steve, we're going to bring him back to Houston, and everything's going to be just the way it was before.
But everything seems so wrong.
Hey, you're just tired. Now you stayed up half the night with Lurleen. You need some sleep. Why don't you go upstairs, and you're going to be surprised how much better you're going to feel.
All I want to do is make you happy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but since our wedding...
Ginny, I have you, and before long, we're going to have Steve, aren't we?
Suppose that Steve doesn't want me. Suppose he doesn't love me anymore.
Stephen loves you, Ginny. He always will love you. Now, if I was ever sure of anything in this world, I'm sure of that.
The line's busy? Well, you sure you got the right number? Yes, sir. Thanks anyway.
Hiya, son. How you doing? What you up to?
Nothing else, just putting something away in my suitcase.
Well, I got good news. You can put everything in that suitcase. Because we are moving out of this motel and into a house on the Granville Ranch.
We are?
Yes. Not only did my friend have a job for me, but he's got a house as well. John says that we can move into his brother's place tonight. Stay just as long as we like. Now, what do you think about that? John says that he's got a horse for you to ride, too. Pretty bay gelding.
I want my own horse and Morning Glory.
Well, don't be in such a rush. We'll send for your horses and Morning Glory, too, just as soon as we can. But in the meantime, you can ride the bay gelding, okay? Now then, tomorrow we're going to take you into school and get you enrolled. From what John says, not a very big school. It's only a couple hundred kids, but the basketball team's one of the best in the state.
No, I don't think I want to play basketball.
Well, sure you do. And John's a good friend of the coach, and so he'll introduce you and get you on the team.
But I won't know anybody.
Well, you will. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can make friends. John says that 2 of the hands have boys your age, so you'll even have a couple of buddies right out on the ranch.
I don't want a couple of buddies.
Oh, Steve, come on. Don't be difficult about this. You and I are about to start a brand new life. If you'll just make a little effort, I think we're going to do just fine.
have any trouble getting in?
Nope, security guard had my name at the desk, just like you said. What's up?
Did you see the show?
Yeah, I did. Roy and I watched the coop. Phil Roberts looked like he was in pretty good shape today.
He was in pretty good shape. That's why I called.
Well, what happened? Didn't you brew your coffee strong enough?
The coffee was fine, but he wouldn't touch it.
Why not?
He's on to us, Bo.
I told you he wasn't that dumb. So what now?
I don't know what now, but we got to do something or we're going to end up in a whole lot of trouble.
What's this wee stuff?
Look, don't pull that. I only got involved in this whole thing because of you. Phil Roberts and I were tight until I tried to trick him into getting you on this stupid show.
Has Phil Roberts said anything to Billy Joe yet?
I don't know.
Where is that brother of yours now?
He's in his dressing room. I haven't seen him yet, but I can't go on avoiding him all day.
Looks like you got yourself in one tight spot, honey.
Yeah, and it's all your fault.
Oh, now, Punk, is that any way to talk to your adoring husband?
Cut it, Bo. Just cut it and help me.
I don't know what you're getting so all fired riled up for, Ruby. I got faith in you. I've seen you handle everything up until now pretty well. And I got a feeling that you're going to handle this just fine.
You need any help with that?
No, I think I'm okay.
Sure you wouldn't want to come in with me and do a little grocery shopping?
No, I hate getting stuck on those checkout lines with all those ladies.
Suit yourself. I'll drive down to that supermarket we passed and get some stuff for dinner. When I get back, I'll check out of here and get on our way to the ranch.
Okay, I'll be ready.
Hello. No, don't place the call. I'll do it later, thank you. That was the desk clerk. He wanted to know if he should try calling Houston again.
I was calling Grandma.
What for?
I want to see how she is, see how Mom is.
I don't want you talking to Grandma. Not for a while.
Why not?
You said you were homesick. If you talk to Grandma, you'll just make things worse.
I don't see why.
I don't want you talking to Grandma or anyone else in Houston.
But
no calls. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. I'm going to the supermarket. You'll be ready to leave when I get back. Okay?
Tell you the truth, Ruby, I don't think it much matters on how you decide to handle... we got company.
Hey, big brother.
Just cool with the big brother stuff.
Something wrong?
Yeah, I want to talk to you. In private.
Oh, Bo, do you mind? Get lost for a while, huh?
Sure, no problem. I want to check out this studio anyway.
Let's get something straight here.
What?
I just talked to Phil right after the show, and he made some accusations that I don't like one bit. Now, he claims that you're the reason that he went on that binge of his yesterday.
What are you talking about?
He claims that you're the one who got him drunk.
Well, Billy Joe, that is the craziest thing I have ever heard. Now, why would I want to get him drunk?
I don't know. But, he just told me to ask you about some thermos.
A thermos?
Yeah, he said you know what he meant by it.
Oh, okay. He's talking about this. I offered him a cup of coffee yesterday before the show to steady his nerves. But I never seen anybody get as drunk as he did on one cup of coffee.
Yeah, well, are you sure there wasn't something else in there except coffee?
I'm positive. Here. You can see for yourself.
Seems all right.
It is.
Well, what was Phil talking about?
Who knows? The man's a drunk. Who knows what he's talking about?
He wasn't drunk today, Ruby.
Well, the man has a problem, Billy Joe. He's an alcoholic, and he's looking for somebody to lay the blame on. Now, after what he did yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised at anything he said. But I am surprised that you'd believe him.
I'm not saying I believe him. I just don't understand why I'd come up with a story like that out of thin air.
Well, that's the way alcoholics are.
I swear I'm not cut out for this type of television work with everybody sneaking behind everybody's back and doing things. It's like working in some damn nut house.
Oh, Billy Joe, look. Why don't you just take it easy, huh? Just calm down. What we'll do is we'll get Phil and we'll talk to him. We'll get him face to face. What's wrong? Billy Joe.
I don't know.
Here, sit down. Sit down.
Oh!
Billy Joe! Billy Joe! Help! Somebody help me!
Dear Grandma, I miss you and the horses and Morning Glory, and Buddy and Rena. But most of all, I miss Mom. Dad says she doesn't want me to live with her anymore. He says she wants to spend all her time with Ryan. I still love her, though. Will you tell her that for me? I love you, too. Stephen Marshall.
Hi, honey. That's more like it. You're feeling better, aren't you?
Yes.
Did you take your nap?
Yes, and I had a dream about Stephen.
Was it a good dream?
It was wonderful. I dreamt I walked down the stairs and he was waiting for me over there by the door.
That's one dream that's going to come true now, isn't it?
I think so, too.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.